So today's talk and morning show, 9:47 a.m. I'm here at Home Depot because I'm using Wi-Fi. But we're talking about STDs and vaginal funguses because really I studied sexual partings, which is like contemporary sex. And right now I'm studying it on Bissonnet, women's habits and males' habits and how they approach, like instincts and stuff. I notice people don't date no more. I notice people just fuck and they get drunk and have sex and do drugs and have sex. And really it's a cover up, but it's a hazardous like protection, which I've been studying. I've been studying codeine for a minute for the COVID-19. I had brought it out in Harris County Jail, posted it up for people that are influenced by selling shit like that to get like condolences from the government because it's truth. In the back in the day, like I said, the juju doctors, they would study body hazards, saliva, boogers. They would pass each other boogers and saliva in the mouth. So really, real talk on some shit. My mom had told me back in the day when she was real bad with sex, because she was. Don't get me twisted and shit, but on some real shit, she told me about feet funguses and how to look at, smell the man part before you have sex or insert it and all that shit, Just on some, homage shit for a mother and a daughter and shit in their sexual life. So I'm here trying to understand why I gotta keep smoking cigarettes or, kind of contribute to my pains. And it's really, it's hormonal. It's a hormonal balance. Because if you talk to a pregnant woman that's single, they'll tell you the truth and they'll tell you their own perspective of how the fuck they feel. And it's a male, like hemoglobin or whatever. They need that shit. But it's because of sexual tensions too that are frequencies. So a lot of shit is weird. But feet funguses is one thing, bad breath and like mucuses is what I'm studying right now. So it's really hard to like get down with it. I'll try to open up a door again to see if people fuck with me to learn something, but I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing right now. It's just weird. So really on a standpoint, I was looking at this one dude. He had pimples on him, and I cured him from it, I think. But he took off. He never came back to let me know anything. It's really fucked up. But damn, I'm trying to get to a commitment out here. I don't really know what that means either. Man. So let's go back to what I was teaching y'all in the beginning, if y'all didn't catch it. I had pulled out a strand, a follicle, from the grass, right? And I was studying bark material, which are fibers. Fibers is in physals, and physals are even in bone chemistry, the build of a structure. So as you're looking at something and you pull it apart like a branch, it breaks down into its chlorophyll. What the chlorophyll is basically like the stem bark, soft part of the inside of the bark. So that's like, to us, that's called, what they always try to pull out, the plasma. That's the plasma of the bark of the tree. The plant itself, like the grass part, the green part of a plant, that's basically fiber material. That's sensories of trying to get water and sunlight. So as you're studying shit like that, and you're trying to get on hands-on material, if you want to become like more influenced with like doctrines of like juju doctors from foreign lands and stuff, you got to get down with cemetery, which is basically like plant life and ecosystems and stuff, and basically animal material, study of habits, just like what I brought up the clothing book in the process of starting all this stuff. It's like a design, like a build of a car. Just in my book, in my Mookie's book, I'm gonna try to explain it from what I remember. If you're trying to get down, if you have it, if y'all been passing it, I hope y'all are, but I hope y'all understand that I'm probably gonna come back a little bit furthermore. Basically, right now too, like I'm saying, mucuses we're studying, I'm studying acne right now too, because acne is not metabolic. Acne is biohazards of, what did I say it was? What's that damn word? It's not fibers, okay? Fibers is a hardening material, remember that. It's like hair and bone and skin, fiber, okay? Fiberglass, let's get into fiberglass before we get back into that. Fiberglass is metallics, right? We have metallics in our bloodstream already, right? Okay. Energetics of sensories, which is like impulsors and stuff, like tap beats, okay? So as you're studying, getting down into natural material and stuff like that for medical terms and stuff, you probably want to get a Latin book or a Latin dictionary to study word, concept, clue words, like the build of a word, to help you transform it into your study again and go back into terminology. So as we're studying and shit, and we're looking at acne, it's more a tendon. It's like a tendon chemistry, where tendons are like muscular processes with sensories, which is more like attracted to more than a viral infection. It's like contributed to more fucking chemistry of goos. The goos are the mucuses, like boogers, saliva, sweat particles, and dust and stuff like that. Fibers again, but on another standpoint, it's like biohazard, like unapproachable material, like having your hands dirty with germs on it. You got to clean your hands with hand sanitizer and shit like that. Now, what I notice in sexual life is don't have sex and go put spray on you. Don't try to block it out with a blockade. The blockades are perfumes and lotions. And even, I don't like this, but don't really say much, but I don't like lubricants in sexual life. Lubricants are biohazards that cause more sexual problems. You'll get thrusts, you'll get dry material on your vaginal, even on your dickhead. You'll start getting ash after using lubricants. So as we're studying shit like that, those are mucuses. Mucuses, you don't want to cause an interaction with mucuses that much. When you have sex and you're having multiple partners, you want to stain yourself a little bit. Staining yourself gives you a smell after like a few hours. When you go take a bath, you want to take a lukewarm shower unless you do have like skin problems. If you're like, I'm saying for dark colored people, you know, they ash a lot. That causes fungal infections. You know that? So that fungal infection will cause acne problems. So as we're studying, if you ever looked at white meat on a white person, they show more of their pimples and stuff, right? But on another dialect of blood material and infatuation of transfusions and stuff, you know how we have yellow bones, which gets back into other centuries of material of medical studies, which causes interaction with like what you can endure and what you can't endure. So a yellow bone, they usually say an albino has a problem with their bloodstream value because it's a contributor, like sand and dirt mixing. Sand and dirt don't mix that well. They don't stick. When it's growing a plant, it usually causes problems unless it's a plant that's around that nature of type of being. So what I want to say, if you do have a fungal feet infection, put some mud on you. Soak mud and put some mud on you, and mud stain your feet for a couple weeks. It'll take off the infatuation of the fungal dry skins and stuff like that. It'll tell you if you have an STD, because it'll either clear up or it'll become contracted more and you'll become infatuated with more pimples. That's just something standardized if you want to, you know, if you're going through stuff and you don't have medical obligations and stuff, you know, can't go to the doctor and stuff, basically. So as we're studying, Mucuses is probably what's the big cause out here, basically because of bad hygiene and stuff like that. You know, we can't really take care of ourselves that much. I'm studying out here on a low boundary, and on a low boundary, you know, being homeless, people do contempt to like contemporarily infatuate their body to a whole obligation of like contests. Contests are basically like streams of hopeless security. Hopeless security is basically like contributing yourself to a strand that makes you metabolic, which makes you able to coexist again with your medical, you know, infatuation of your personality and brain functions and all sorts of structure. Have you ever noticed that even as you talk to somebody, you can infatuate them with like your mood switch? Well, basically, that's basically like a sensory. People that have depression and certain like aspects to themselves of that nature, they're usually struggling with their mentality. Mentality is an impulse. Remember that. Sensory, like sweat, you get nervous, you get shocked, you have like even retardation will tell you something. It's so beautiful. It'll tell you like the possibility of being unavailable to yourself, like being homeless and being stiff-natured. Stiff-natured just makes you like ghetto in a sense of, you know, let's talk real. On a sense, people that want to make it, they have their own way of making it in life. You know that, right? So basically, it's just like a whole bunch of boundaries, but you have to be very thoughtful on a commitment of medical transitioning. So as we're studying this shit gets that's so real. Like it gets real. Like influence is an influencer. Cancer is an influencer of fibers. I was studying that, like the fibers in a spider's web. You know how it contributes and it stacks up and it makes like a whole net of its own growth. I had pulled out fibers from my pee. I don't know how I did it. I remember some of it. If I would have had it on video, it would have been more badass, but it would have been ununderstandable because it's a predicament still. And on another boundary, you know, you had to be there to understand and believe in shit like that. I've been trying to get some type of conclusive medical practitioner to believe in me, but I'm still just low class, like trying to understand how to pass a good service, because at the end of the day, you know, we just want to know how to take care of each other. But I was chilling with homeless people, and for a couple of like 2-3 years I was chilling outside like that. I was in trouble and shit like that, but you know, I had to fucking get right. So basically what I was doing was I was trying to study body chemistry. Body chemistry is like a coping of trying to survive off of a common code, by being unmedicated. And it's very influenced off, which are the mucous membranes. So it's basically being dirty, but passing like a receptor. It's very fucking weird shit ever. God damn. But we can go through this all day, and I'll try to explain so you can try to get into your hands-on material if you want to make like some shape. Like usually what I do with products, I find products that are like certified, like, what is that? It's like medical lotions. They usually pass medical lotions. They got medical lotions like Ross. They got certain chemistry with their products. I like Ross with their products, but they're expensive for me still. But on a downgrade basis, if you were like going and shopping at Ulta, you know, the Ulta beauty shit, they're expensive like the other upper class shit. But the Ross material, if y'all want to get into some shit, you might want to look into Ross and study with hair particles first. Hair particles are probably the best thing because they'll just fall out. Your hair will just fall out, and they'll get you into acetones. That's where I started with acetones. Acetones are found in lotions a lot. So what I was trying to do was find something censored, which is basic a sensory material, which is lotion, because lotion gets into fibers, it gets into mucous membranes, it gets into structure of tendons and muscular processes. Because if you look into the lipid, what is that? The fucking growth of a plant on chlorophyll and stuff like that. You can understand the skin tone of the plant is green, but it self-serves, tells you something about your skin, to how to not damage or burn yourself when you're processing lotion material or acetones for a chemistry project. So this shit, if that's what I'm just telling you, if you want to get down with it, you know, try to start off with a lotion and put herbals in it first. You could buy, I don't know if people really do this shit, but people that travel could actually get down with real material like bees, real life insects. They have databases for plants and already, you know, where they sell the plants that are like from different cultures, but they don't have nothing for insects. Those are like found in different third world countries, I think. Like insects, they sell insects, dead insects for their animals. Usually the milk bone, like the milk bone of a dog food, they'll sell like what are they called, mealworms for the you know, for the rats and shit. Mealworms can be used for certain things too, in using things. I used the beetle for my first chemistry like project, and I put him in the bottle and I let him pee in there and stain it with his oils from his shell. The beetle is very dangerous because they'll kill you. Those motherfuckers, the black beetles, they're poisonous if you eat them, or you know. But it's only certain ones that you got to be careful of, I think, in different countries. But still, I'm just saying, if you want to get down, you might have to get into your garden or into your yard and find like a caterpillar or a butterfly or something of that nature, if you really understand the process of metabolisms. Metabolisms come down to allergies if you're allergic to something. So that's why I haven't really been studying hands-on with people yet. I just been studying with my eyes and like cultures, you know, like if they have a cold, spit, you know, their habitation, habits and stuff like that. Just to get down if I find something that interests me to study again. But shit is very real, dude. I was like, what the hell? Oh, man. I'm trying to get a video out so y'all can understand what I'm doing this time around. But I'm going to be studying, like I said, membranes. And that's mucuses. Mucuses, membranes, sweat, and habitation and stuff like that. So I hope y'all are interested, and I hope y'all stay connected to me. If y'all do find me conclusively exclusive, I'm really not. I'm really open. I'm kind of, you know, I'm a weird person. But you can just ask me for shit if you do, or just pass me something, however you talk. I do collect sometimes, and I work around them, and I try to make people understand what I'm really about, what I'm doing. And I'm not certified yet, but I'm trying to be. I passed my stuff to the government at least, to try to get at least, I went to jail, I think it was for that, but they won't tell me shit, you know. I had to put my JRTC tag on me just so I could be at least qualified to say that I'm capable of something. And I wish they did have it as a license. I put that on the standpoint, JRTC license, but, you know, it's still certified because I graduated with it on my tag, you know, on my background. So I'm just letting y'all know, please be careful when you have sex. Study habits, usually nervous systems, you know, study how they act and approach you when you're dating. Look at the body parts, smell, make sure you're taking care of your health and shit, because right now codes and mucous membranes are very high, you know, frequency. You get sick more. In the heat, you can at least sweat it out. Make sure you check how you sweat. Usually that's another sign of an STD or something, when you can't sweat or when you're productive too much sweat. Also, again, those are just some medical things that people just have in their chemistry of their inheritance, you know, like their gene formulation. But I'm just saying, no judgment here. Just, you know, just take care of yourself and be approachable and be just content to yourself, because we're just trying to make it out here. All right, y'all.